Welcome back, time to newcomers alike, to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In this last episode, we figure out Gavin was the fourth person and also the killer. And now he's trying to prove otherwise, but all he's doing is digging a big fat hole for himself. So let's see where this goes. Proof? Well, that's,
As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
Yeah, see what he did there.
Objection! I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I had requested an additional investigation?
Ah, yes, I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question.
What are you going to dust our fingerprints to?
The bear doesn't like your insults.
I would be surprised if any were on that but his.
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything.
Say, Apollo,
Yes?
why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle?
But why?
Just humor me.
Does it have the card in it, maybe? Mr. Wright?
That bottle will solve this case once and for all.
Freaking finally. What? That's some bottle. Alright. Here we go. Examine. Ooh, there's the card. There's something inside the bottle. That's the card. Holy crap. What's this?
That card! It can't be!
Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment.
Unpleasant woman. Miss Olga O'Reilly?
Yes, our little swindling Javochka.
A little swindling devochka. What does that even mean?
That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed.
Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in the piece of testimony?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found that it was the Five of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. The Five of Hearts. This is the card! The bottles were swapped. And the only one who could have done that was the fourth person in the club that night. You, Mr. Kristoph Gavin.
And there it is. Oh my god! Table smash. Jeez, he almost went freaking Super Saiyan there.
That is all.
It certainly is, Mr. Wright.
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago?
So wait, did he have something to do with that too?
My past is my logic, straight and true.
That's a nice catchphrase.
Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction.
Hey, justice is my finger!
Fine.
And a random recovery! That's Kristoph for you.
I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete right.
This is insane! What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
No, 'cause you're an idiot! The bear thinks you're stupid. Get out of this courtroom. Slap. I believe this time we finally come to the end of our trial. It's about freaking time. 6 episodes in. Good God. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on the Kristoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
Well, that's nice of him. I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shoddy Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession, to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright?
Yes?
7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch.
Kristoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
A dark time is coming for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own court system. We have to set it right.
Mr. Wright.
Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. The Beard is finally happy this case is over. But there's a whole game to go. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty, 'cause the Beard says so. Court is adjourned. Finally. April 20th, 428, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Thanks, Apollo. You came through, just like I thought you would.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. The killer.
I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too, today, didn't you? Your ability?
Ability?
Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
Wait, I wonder if he means my Millennium Puzzle. Just kidding. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true.
What's this weird acid vibe I'm getting? Yay, drugs! What was that, Mr. Wright?
You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself.
By taking more acid, yay! The answer, right. Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin.
What possible reason could he have to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you?
This locket is the key.
Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Your daughter, right?
That's right. She's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket.
Eh?
I took this off his neck the night before he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury! You testified! You said that locket was yours!
I said no such thing, actually.
Huh?
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth.
Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it?
Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time.
Like, how about 3 cases worth of time?
You're still just getting started with your career.
Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs.
Apollo,
Yes?
how about coming to work for me?
Best opportunity ever! Yeah, you mean at the Riding Coat Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it.
I can't imagine that to be true, but...
Wait, but didn't you... You're not a...
Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore.
That incident 7 years ago, that legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence.
Forged evidence? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick.
One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I'll bet this was the forged evidence. The card. I mean, that was the evidence that got Gavin. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright.
Yes. That card shouldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us.
The court can't accept this evidence. It's fraud!
A fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. The verdict was already handed down 7 years ago.
Then you really,
Yes, I forged this card.
So that was the lie of the case, was it? Wow, I guess since he's not an attorney anymore, it doesn't matter, but really? Wow.
One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real.
But of course Apollo was oblivious, so of course he wouldn't figure that out. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney! He's not calling himself an attorney anymore, Apollo. We lost that opportunity.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
Exactly. So it's true! The rumor is true! 7 years ago!
None of that matters much now, does it?
Whoa, did he just smack him? I punched him. What the crap?
It's your story from here on out, Apollo.
Of course until Phoenix Wright 5 when it's back to Phoenix again as far as I see.
Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in, if you like.
Mr. Wright?
Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that!" next time. I find it packs a little more punch.
Ha! I'm gonna try that.
And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time.
And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And, at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. End. So, thank you all for watching Case 1. That's the end of the first act. Next act, Turnabout Corner. But I'm gonna do something weird. And because this is a special LP, I'm going to end it right here at the 15-minute mark because it is the end of Case 1. What I do want you guys to do, though, is post in the comments who you thought the best voice actor of Case 1 was, though, and I'll give him a little prize. 3 people you can't vote for: Nintendo LP / Phoenix Wright, unfortunately, because I wouldn't be able to get a hold of him or anything. Nintendo LP, and don't vote for any of the roles I played. Everybody else is up for grabs. Vote for the best voice actor besides those characters there. Right, so rate, comment, subscribe, favorite, and see you guys next time.
As long as we draw breath, the wheel of fate turns. Spinning big crimes and little crimes together. And when the wheel stops, you die.